My dad was a complete monster. At home, he wore things no father ever should. Then he took disturbing selfies, doing things I can't even forget. This started in June 2011. My little brother and I went to stay at our dad's house. We never liked him, but after the divorce, the court said we had to spend holidays at his place every year. One day we came home and found him fast asleep. His laptop was still on. We instantly thought we could watch movies on it. So we quietly took it back to our room and started looking through it. Then suddenly, I saw a folder called Study Materials, and I immediately knew that name was fake. He'd been single for years. So I clicked it. And the second I did, we both felt sick. The folder was full of selfies. All of them were of our dad. In one photo, he was dressed up, with a smile on his face. In another, things got worse. Way worse. By the third photo, we knew something was deeply wrong. By the fourth, we almost threw up. At that point, my brother and I were completely disgusted. Our dad had a bad temper. He used to hit our mom, but we never imagined he was hiding something like this. It was beyond disturbing. Then I thought he was always hard on us, always strict, always controlling everything. So I saved the photos. Right then, I took pictures of them with my phone. Then I put the laptop back and warned my brother, don't tell anyone. After that, we pulled even farther away from him. I could barely stand to look at him. Every time I saw his face, I felt sick. Soon we went back to our mom, and for a long time, we barely spoke to him. Then one day, he messaged me furious, asking why I never called. Back then, I had no choice. I had to live with him, but now I did. I had leverage. So I sent him the photos with a few mocking lines. He snapped and started cursing at me, but he was trapped. Later he called our mom and demanded that Dylan, my 13-year-old brother, come stay with him over Thanksgiving. My brother didn't want to, but he had to go. Before he left, I sent him the photos too. He wanted the same protection, the same bargaining chip. Soon Dylan arrived there, but he didn't want to stay with Dad. So he said he wanted to visit a friend and maybe stay the night. Dad heard that and got angry. You barely come here, and now you won't sleep here? No chance. So my brother texted his friend. He couldn't make it that night. He said he'd come by at 6 a.m. But the next morning, he never showed up. Instead, our dad went to the police and said his son was missing. Police searched immediately. The house, the hills, everywhere nearby. But Dylan was gone. Then 7 months passed. Until one day, police found remains in the woods 2 kilometers away, but his skull was missing. As soon as the news broke, Dad called me to update me. He said they found Dylan and claimed there were no clear injuries. That was strange, because police had not released any cause of death, yet somehow Dad sounded certain. I didn't wait. I called 911 and told them everything I knew. Police then searched our dad's house again. This time they found blood on the couch, the floor, and the table. DNA confirmed it was Dylan's. But Dad lied again. He said the blood came from a soccer injury. Except earlier, he had said Dylan was never hurt. So he was clearly lying. But unbelievably, under US law, that blood alone wasn't enough to convict him. So again, police had to let him walk. And everything stayed stuck until November 2015. 2 years later, some hikers in the woods found a skull and torn up shoes, plus scraps of clothing. They were Dylan's. A fracture on the skull showed a fatal blunt force blow. With the new evidence, prosecutors finally charged my father. In court, my mom and I exposed his hidden photos. And based on all the evidence, investigators reconstructed what happened. That night, father and son got into a huge fight. Dylan was furious that Dad wouldn't let him leave. He called him a freak and said he pulled up the secret photos on his phone. Then he threatened Dad. If you don't let me go, I'll post these online. In one instant, Dad's authority collapsed, and his son was mocking him. Mark lost control. He grabbed a hammer and struck Dylan in the head, killing him there. Then Mark dismembered the body, loaded the remains into his trunk, and dumped them in the remote woods. On July 16, 2017, he still denied everything in court. He refused to admit killing Dylan, but the judge saw through him for child abuse, second-degree murder, and abuse of a corpse. He got 48 years. Mark said nothing at sentencing. He looked bitter, unrepentant, but by then he was already in his 40s. And he will spend the rest of his life in prison.